The Lecomte $100 budget edition of the Notorious OTB on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. Welcome, everybody, to the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And folks, as always,
it's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
We used to read Blood Horse magazine.
Yes, human being.
And I'm your host, Chase Sessoms, the Wolf of Oaklawn.
I'd rather be trapped as than lazy. Don't care what they say, I'ma do what pays me.
It happens every year about this time. Weaklings act like they lost their mind. Alphas reclaim the neighborhood. Rob the sheep and all the wolves eat good.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Joining me, as always, you might know him as the Michelangelo of the crime, Michael Jordan. He's your favorite capper's favorite capper. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry the Sniper Spears.
You know how we do. Rockefeller. Forever. Catch me skating through your town, putting it down. Y'all relating, no waiting. I'll make your block infrared hot. I'm like Satan.
Barry, what's good?
Nothing much, my brother. It is Thursday, almost the weekend, and that's what I'm ready for. How about you?
Yeah, it's the racing's starting to heat up. My wife's on a business trip, so I'm solo with the kids, just Mr. Mom in it. Yeah,
that's what's up, man. So it's ice cream sundaes for every meal, or
it's they've come to expect canes, raising canes whenever mom is out of town.
Good choice, kids.
Barry, real quick, we got something to play. If you're hearing that sound, that means that we connected on a bet yesterday. That's right. I got my best bet for Turfway Park home yesterday. The 3 Isolé in race 4 paid 5-1. So we bet down from 8-1, but still not bad.
Yeah, it was a good pick. Yeah, and he ran as expected. I mean, you mapped it out to perfection, my brother.
It's after whiffing on a couple of pace setups recently, it felt good to nail that one, you know?
It always feels good to nail him.
Barry, before we dive in, I got to ask, what do you have any thoughts on this situation at Gulfstream Park?
I think it's not as dire as people are making it out to be, but I understand the concern, because it's the industry that kind of put us in this situation where we're relying on subsidies to race. And what Gulfstream seems like they're planning on doing is building a casino and then subsidizing the racing on their own. Now, how long that happens, I don't know. Or if it ever does happen, I don't know. But, I mean, at least that's where they're at for now. I mean, people are freaking out over them not guaranteeing past 3 years. But I don't really see any business guaranteeing anything past 3 years anyway, just because the economy is just so volatile these days. Things like that. But it is concerning. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm saying there's nothing to be concerned about at all. It's just you gotta have to wait and see, unfortunately. And years ago, these decisions to be subsidized by slot revenue is really affecting us now.
Don't you wish we would have had the foresight to predict this problem?
Yeah, we did, but nobody listened.
No one listened. Well, real quick before we dive in, get the SGPN app for easy instant access to all of our free picks and podcasts. So Barry, let's hit today's topic. We're going to be talking about Fairgrounds this Saturday. That's right, January 18th, year of our Lord 2025. It is Lecomte Day and Kentucky Derby qualifying points on the line. And this is the first 20-point race on the road to the Kentucky Derby. So no more piddly points. Post time for the card, 1 Eastern, 12 God's time, 10 a.m. Pacific time on the Pacific Coast. We're doing, like I said, a $100 budget show where we can play any race, any wager type, just whatever makes that cash money. I saw, with a little bit of rain in the forecast, I saw a volatile card, man. I thought that there's chance for buckets if you're playing like the pick five or the horizontals, even in vertical bets and races. I thought you had a chance to maybe hit big. What'd you think?
Yeah, same thing. There's a lot of big fields, competitive fields. There's no real outstanding, overwhelming chalks on the day. So yeah, there's definitely some opportunities for us.
Well, let's go ahead and dive in. I did not sit on my hands long. I am going with the first race.
Ew.
I'm playing. It's a 6 furlong, $60,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime state bred.
I was state raised. You think I'm scared to catch a case? What's some bullshit?
Allowance on the dirt. I've got a $10 exacta, 1 with 2 and 3. If you've listened to one of our $100 budget shows before, you know that I love to step on necks early. I get them down. I never let them up. So in that spirit, I'm playing a $10 exacta in race 1. I'm using the 1 Benji Star at 9-2 on top. I think that the pace should set up well for Benji Star for Michael Stidham with Jose Ortiz up on the mount. The pace early should be pretty quick, and I'm projecting 3 horses, the 2 Starry Eyed, the 3 Give Me a Second, and the 7, the favorite Kenmore West, all sending for the lead. Benji Time should sit mid-pack behind the fracas and have time to make up ground on the Fairgrounds stretch run, which is roughly 2 weeks long, I've decided. It's the longest fucking stretches in racing. This could be a wet sealed track when this runs. I think that early speed should hold on very well. So I'm using who I see as the 2 speeds of speeds underneath, the number 2 Starry Eyed and the 3 Give Me a Second as the horses underneath that Benji Star gets up over late. So that's my play. It's a $10 exacta, 1 with 2, 3. Barry, you skipped out on the first. Did you have any thoughts on it?
I really didn't, because typically I don't like playing the first race of the day, just in general. It's rare unless a stable male horse shows up in the first race. I usually kind of pass.
That's fair. That's fair. I understand it from the wait to see if a track bias develops kind of thing, see what my eyes tell me after the first race. But I jumped the gun here. Like I said, I'm trying to step on necks.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. It. You can't do that without the first attempt and in the first race. Why the hell not?
Because sometimes I like to try to guess the bias. And if I guess right, I can catch everyone else with their pants down early. That's one of the things.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to catch everybody with their pants down, but the right people, right?
No pants. I'm on the no pants dance. Barry, you kicked it off in race 3, 8 furlongs, a $60,000 non-winners of 1 something. I'm not here to read your fucking conditions. Allowance race. It's on the turf. What direction did you go with it?
Yeah, I thought the favorite or the morning line favorite was real shaky in this race, because this horse has never finished first, which is rare. I mean, he got placed first through a disqualification back in October and got a win, but the horse has still never crossed the finish line first. It's 3-1 on the morning line. Is definitely capable of winning. I just haven't seen it yet, and I am going to dare this horse to do it again, or at least do it once. So that being said, I don't like sandpipes. I took number 3, Devil's Got a Cause. This horse has got an interesting little story here. Ran 2 decent turf races up at Saratoga. One, they kind of got bumped at the beginning and didn't really last. The second race on July 24th was much, much better, against a little bit softer. Proved that the horse could turf, which was fine with me. Then goes on to in the mud, shows speed and fades. Then goes to Keeneland on the dirt, shows speed and fades. Comes back at Fairgrounds on the 21st of December in a race similar to this one. Loses the jock right out of the gate against pretty much a lot of these horses. has a few workouts since, one really good one on January 11th, which I think sets this horse up for a good trip here on Saturday. Gets Edgar Morales, first time, who does good work for this barn typically. But this is a really strange race all the way around, and that's why I went with a really strange horse and Devil's Got a Cause at 15-1.
I like this play, and I like it from. We talk about the anatomy of a long shot a lot when we're on here. You've got dirty running lines from the bumped perspective. You've got something like what's different today. You got a turf, change in surface to put it over the top. I like the play. It's as the alderman of no chalk zone Ward 4. I had to kind of expect you're going to come with a 15-1 shot right off the bat, right?
Yeah, I mean, it should be expected. And even if you miss, say we don't hit this one, we still got bullets. So, if we hit it early, great. If not, we got others.
For some reason, me and Dallas Stewart just don't get along. And by that, I mean, I never have. He never wins when I'm on his horses. I never win when he wins. So it's a little bit better than Rudy Brissett, who I literally have. I know that Rudy Brissett wins races. I have literally, with my eyes, never seen a Rudy Brissett horse.
Funny enough, you speak about that. I had a hard time catching Russell Bays when he was riding. Funny enough, the guy wins a million races, but I was always trying to bet against him. So that says a lot.
Well, real quick, before we hit our next plays, got to get a word in from our good friends at DraftKings. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That's code SGP for new customers. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 46.
Someone forgot to turn off the loop on the disclaimer. That was me. Oh, well. All right. We are back to it.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. Barry and I are back. We're here talking about Fairgrounds giving 3 picks.
And I make nothing. Zero. Zilch. By the time I pay all my scientists, all my people in my research department, lab coats, it's a wash. Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, because I'm selfless.
Because we're selfless, we're moving on. We both have a play in race 8, the 8.5 furlong, $100,000, the Marie G. Krantz Stakes on the turf. I've got a $20 win, the 9 Ghostly Gal at 10-1. Ghostly Gal is a really interesting play in the Marie G. Krantz Stakes, and I'm going to fire away with the $20 win bet at the spot. I'm projecting the 1 Cupid's Crush and the 10 Join the Dance both out front, setting the pace. Ghostly Gal should be sitting in the second wave, a few links off with first run on the speed. What's so interesting with Ghostly Gal, who's trained by the Catman, Wayne Catalano, is the surface switch back to turf. Before starting the My Charmer Stakes at Turfway Park last out, Ghostly Gal had been on a streak of 3 straight ascending Beyer speed figures. Ghostly Gal is decent on synth, but the synth performance is pale in comparison to those on turf. The turf figures make this horse very competitive, and Catalano makes the switch to Jareth Loverboy Loveberry here. And together they've paired up to win 6 of 18 last year and 4 of 12 at Fairgrounds over the last year. If this pace is moderate to slow, then I like Ghostly Gal's chances. So I was a $20 win on the 9 Ghostly Gal. Barry, where are you going in the 8th?
It actually came to my attention that my race isn't the 8th. It's the 6th. It was the 5.5 furlong turf race.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
So
Race 6, what do you got?
I have, I thought No Balls was a bet against here. The horse just hasn't been the same as he was last year. He kind of found some form last time on the synthetic, but his turf efforts this year haven't been the same. And he draws the rail here in the Kenner, and I think he's very, very beatable. There's some speed in here that might get in his way for at least a little bit. In Uncashed, who has a ton of speed. Although No Balls has been kind of sitting off the pace this year, I think they're going to try to force the issue, and that could make for some fireworks in this race. You got Bear River on the way outside, who has some speed, as well as Over and Ollie, the 10 horse. So this pace should heat up front. So I'm going to go with the best closer, or the horse that I thought was the best closer, and that's the 6 Mischievous Rogue at 9-2. This horse had a nice race, kind of a comebacker race on November 15th, just missed at Churchill, going 5 on the turf. I think that extra half furlong is going to make all the difference and get this horse over the hump and into the winner's circle. So it's number 6, Mischievous Rogue, in race 6 at Fairgrounds. Lecomte Day. Let's do it, man.
Let's go. I'm
Let's go.
excited.
First
Let's
off,
go.
the claim too. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that move. Though, I mean, I will say, No Balls is in the Notorious OTB Hall of Fame for the win in the Churchill Downs Sprint on Kentucky Derby Day a couple of years ago, where he was a whopping 38-1, and we hit the exacta with it. No big deal. No big deal. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, you got to beat horses like No Balls in order to be a hero. So we're going to try it.
That's true. That's true. We are moving on. We're hitting race 9. I've got my next play. 8.3 furlongs. That's 1 mile and 70 yards. The $150,000 Silver Bullet Day Stakes on the dirt. I've got a $10 win on number 6, Go Wells Delight. At 8-1. I think that the 6 Go Wells Delight presents excellent value in the Silver Bullet Day. This is the second career start, and in the maiden breaking debut, Go Wells Delight won at a slightly longer distance than today's race. Given the fact that Brian Hernandez Jr. gets aboard McPeak's other entry, I think that this is the other McPeak. And Go Wells Delight won the debut by 5.5. I think that this one has the most promise to improve in the second start. I got this one sitting a length to a length and a half behind the early speed of the other McPeak horse, the number 7. She's a sweetie. With McPeak's other horse controlling the pace, I got to think that this works out well for the additional McPeak entries. And I think you have to opt for the price of Go Wells Delight. So a $10 win on number 6, Go Wells Delight. Barry, you skipped over the Silver Bullet Day. What was your take on the race? Was there anyone you maybe liked? You're muted.
Of course I am. Just not a good day in Berryville today.
It's all right. It's like the number 1 square on the bingo card.
I thought the 6 was interesting, but I mean, it's a really tough race to kind of map out on paper, and I wouldn't take a favorite, but that's just me.
I mean, you never take the favorite, so.
I hardly ever. I do sometimes, but.
Instead of saying it's just me, just like, I'm going to be Barry. I'm just going to.
Yeah, just going to be me. And I would say the 6 or the 7, personally, but I really wasn't too locked in on this race.
Well, we are on to our next play, and we've got a play in the same race. No, it's not a false start this time. Race 10, 8.5 furlongs, $100,000. The Colonel E.R. Bradley Stakes on the turf. Tell me, what are we going to do with the Colonel here? Are we going to make him a general, or with our winnings? What are you going to do?
We might have to, right? Because we're going to sweep this, and then, we got to do something with the Colonel, right? It's a big field too.
Yeah. It's he's not the Colonel that said, I'm too drunk to taste that chicken. That was in fact Colonel Sanders, if memory serves me correctly.
Yes.
Where are you going? Race 10, brother.
I thought this race was was kind of difficult. A, because there's a lot of horses in it, and they're kind of the B tier types. So they all sort of kind of look the same, and it's just a matter of who's going to step up. You know, it's funny. There's a horse in this race, City Man, the 10, who was actually favored in the Pegasus Turf a couple years ago, which is amazing because the horse really has never been that good, and you know, always gets sort of respect at the windows. I think this horse might end up running a good race on Saturday, but I just don't think he's of that caliber. I think he might be close, but not there yet. So we're gonna go with number 9. What say thee? Maker has this one kind of in a good spot to step up here. The horse ran on September 1st, ran a decent race in a handicap at Kentucky Downs, and not all horses really take to Kentucky Downs. I mean, lately, the last couple years, it was dependent on trip or where you were. A lot of speed it was winning. This horse had an outside post, loomed up and faded, which is a tough trip, especially this year at Kentucky Downs. Then shows up at Churchill and wins after being at Kentucky Downs on November 17th. That was his last race. Comes into this race with a steady stream of works, indicating that this horse is ready to go for this race. At 6-1, I couldn't resist. I don't really like the favorite all that much. And I think there's some opportunity here for a little upset.
Well, Barry, it's a minor one, but we get a little bit of Paul Rudd.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us.
I made a play in race 10, and it involves the 9. What say thee? I did a $5 exacta 9-10 with 7-9-10. I got this as a competitive pace early, and I've got 2 off-pace horses I think I can use to blow up the exotics in this race. Given the field size and the lukewarm favoritism of the morning line favorite Gigante at 7-2, I think this exacta and all the other vertical bets pay buckets here. Both number 9, What Say Thee at 6-1 and the 10 City Man at 12-1 should sit the wide mid-pack trip out in the clear with a chance to show their late kick. What Say Thee gets Rosario up for Mike Maker, one of his reclamation jobs that always seem to run their eyeballs out. And I think it's a good match between a horse and jock. The longer priced 10 City Man, who Barry mentioned, it's a Rob Actress trained New York bred that has great figures in a few state bred stakes wins. This is a barn change to Rob Actress from 19% with horses making their first start in this barn. And then I'm wheeling Gigante underneath in second, who should get a first run mid-pack type trip. And I think Gigante breaks first, and then I have What Say Thee or City Man run him down late. Whenever I script out how I think this race runs, I see Gigante making the first move, and then the 9, our What Say Thee, and the 10 City Man going. Now, it's something I noticed, which what do you think, if this should concern me or not? Rosario, I mean, back when this was a Clement horse, Rosario was Clement's boy. He had pretty much all the mounts. Now he jumps to What Say Thee. Do you think that's concerning for City Man?
No, I mean, City Man switched barns. Is in Rob Atras' barn now, so I guess the jock switch was inevitable.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm going to choose to not be irked by it, if you will.
Try not to be, I should say.
And it never be irked. Just a piece of advice.
Slightly perturbed, right?
Slightly.
That's better.
Slightly. You know what? It's the sort of thing. Perturbed is like, what steams my clams kind of got. That
it grinds my gears.
Yeah, it's the short way to say, what grinds my gears. That's your play in race 10. I've got my play in race 10. We're down to 2 races left. They are the most consequential races on the card, I guess. You got the $175,000 Louisiana Stakes, Grade 3. And then you've got the 8.5 furlongs, $250,000 Lecomte Stakes, which we are all here for. Barry and I both have plays kicking off in race 11. Before we jump to them, though, I'm going to get a quick word in from our good friends at Underdog. Underdog Pick'em is one of the biggest menus for all sports. Underdog is always making it easier to win with profit boost and gimme pick'ems. NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more. And you can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. So sign up for promo code SGPN to claim your special pick. Deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And if you excuse me, I got to get a brief rehydration interlude in with someone from the NOLA.
If you had a second line and them boys got it done, you better run for it, run for it, run. And if you're too deep in some beef and them boys about to come, you better run for it, run for it, run.
Now, Barry, in the Louisiana Stakes, race 11, you've got a daily double kicking off. Why don't you go ahead and give us your double?
Yeah, I'm not going to really reinvent the wheel here. Hit Show, to me, is kind of a standout in this spot. Should get the best trip out of anybody. There's enough speed for this horse to kind of follow. And I just think he's kind of a standout. If we get 5-2 on this horse, I mean, that's more or less a gift, but I doubt it. I think this horse is going to be under 2-1. And rightfully so. I mean, none of these horses have proven as much as he has on the track. He should get the run of the race. And we're just going to go with Hit Show.
Hit Show. Oh, it's a single.
In that race, yeah.
Yes, I'm singing. I want to mingle.
You want to mingle?
Yeah.
Now, race 12, 8.5 furlongs, $250,000. The Lecomte Stakes, the feature. How are you finishing off your daily double?
So, in the Lecomte, I'm going to use two horses. We're going to use the 11 Disco Time, and we're going to use the 3 Admiral Dennis, and both are Brad Cox horses. I think he's loaded in this spot. I think Admiral Dennis just didn't get a great trip last time, kind of stumbled out of the start and ranged up a little wide and faded. Built kind of had his own way up front, and I don't think that's going to happen this time. And I believe Admiral Dennis is going to sit a way, way better trip than he did last time if he gets out of the gate properly. Disco Time has a lot of upside. I appreciate the fact that they ran this horse in allowance conditions before jumping into this race, and I think that might make all the difference. I don't believe this horse needs the lead by himself in order to win. I think he's going to be forwardly placed and kind of sit right off or right behind Built. And I think the 3 is also going to do similar tactics, but it's a real interesting Lecomte, and I would never, ever, ever take a favorite in that race.
Well, you've got the Flo Cox double working if you go 111 in race 11 and 12 with the old Brad Cox, Florent Giroux. The hot Cox comes together to form the Flo Cox, as I like to call them.
From Boston?
Yeah, I feel like that's just the perfect accent to say the hot Cox.
Oh, it absolutely is. Absolutely. No question about it.
Yeah, totally. I also had a daily double starting in race 11, but I spread it out quite a bit. I have a $5 daily double, 249 with 3-7. I thought that these two races could be chaos, and you could see the last two legs of the horizontals putting Tiger Bomb on these payouts nuts. I think that you must play against the chalk in both races, so I'm opting to spread out a little bit from my more typical surgical approach with the horse singled in the double. I'm taking my best pace-supported shots in both legs. The first one is going to be the 2, Warrior Johnny. With Torres up, should sit out of the pace, fracas, and let early speed come back to him. After a stakes win in November at Parks, Warrior Johnny shipped down to Fairgrounds, where he had a 3rd place showing in an ungraded stakes race. He's been training and has been training at the Fairgrounds. And I think that Philip Bauer will get this one to improve second over the Fairgrounds surface. Next, I had the 4, Heroic Move at 8-1. With, I guess I'm apparently the biggest fan of this guy. Harry Hernandez up for Robertino Diodoro. It comes off of a non-graded stakes win at Zia Park. And this is a graded stakes winning horse. Third off the layoff after a big popping performance at Zia. I think this one is on its way, on its way to fire its best shot. And I don't think that this horse would be here if it were without a chance. Heroic Move should be sitting a little bit deeper in the pace picture than Warrior Johnny, but should get the same sort of trip chasing down the early speed late. And then the other horse that I'm really excited about, and I'm going to fucking butcher its name, is going to be Komorabino Omuide. The number 9 at 8-1. It's the other Diodoro horse in this race, and this one should sit a little closer to the early pace in this race. And the recent form makes this one look like a major player, and he's capable of running triple digit buyers, which he's trending towards. Those are my 3 in the first race: the 2, 4, and 9, and then I'm wrapping it up with 2 horses here. The first one is going to be, like Barry mentioned, Admiral Dennis, but these are all young horses, newly minted 3-year-olds, so not many have learned to run from off the pace yet. And I think that any horse that has shown the ability to rate or lay a few links off the lead are going to have a shot to blow this up. So I use the 2. And Admiral Dennis, once again, I get Joel Rosario on a horse with some late kicks, so it should be dangerous. Draw a line through the last out effort in the gun runner stakes here at Fairgrounds because of a stumble at the start and then having to burn energy to rush up. The 2-back figure and the maiden breaking score for Brad Cox is fast enough to win this race. And the last out start is giving this horse a ton of value in exotics and in the win pool more than likely. And then I'm using the 7 calling card. And I've got an angle I'm really proud of here, Barry.
Okay, that's what's up. What you got?
So we got Frankie Dettori up for Mike Maker, and I'm pretty certain that this is the horse that Dettori is in town to ride. But here's the angle that I'm really fucking proud of. I'm so proud of this. Dettori was recently implicated in a tax avoidance scheme in England.
What?
No, he's got lawyers to pay and will be extra motivated.
Oh,
this should be
a little personal life angle.
Yeah. It's like remember whenever like Zidane was like bankrupt? I made tons of money betting what I call broke ass Zidanes, which were they had to recoup money somehow, so they drop them in clout. Get the purse and then get the claiming check. So that, sometimes these angles pay off. We'll see if Frankie Dettori is riding to not be a jailbird. But especially if I'm right and there's some pace to run into, I think that calling card has a great shot, and it's been working absolutely lights out leading into this race. So I was a $5 daily double starting in race 11, the 2, 4, 9 with the 3 and 7. That's all 12 races, but Barry, we're not done yet. You know what?
Oh, we're not done yet.
We've saved the tastiest morsels in the final race for you to bet to get a little bit of profit in your pocket on your way out the door. That's right. It's time for bailout bets.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Barry, what's your bailout?
My bailout is Admiral Dennis. I think this horse has a really, 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 really good shot. I'm forgiving that last race in the gun runner. Going to turn the tables on Built in Magnitude. So let's go. Admiral Dennis.
If you're a fan of the sitcom Community, just in honor of Magnitude, I would like to say pop, pop. I get to play the full Paul Rudd here.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
My bailout bet is the number 3 Admiral Dennis, 8-1. So far, I believe we're 1-0-1 because we had a scratch with one of our bailout bets where we were on the same one. So we're technically undefeated, but we have one that failed to run. So we agree. Good things happen when we agree with the 3 Admiral Dennis at 8-1. Anything that you're particularly excited to see on the Lecomte card? Don't forget to unmute yourself, sir.
The whole thing. Once I get it together after today, oh, it's just horrible today. Yeah, I think the whole card is actually pretty good, and there's opportunities, and map out your day. I would say that's probably the main thing. Map out your day, have a plan, and cash it, baby.
We just got an update from Nick Sievers, who's joining us in the chat, which I appreciate.
Oh,
Marcus Hirsch just reported Admiral Dennis is out.
that stinks.
Fucking sucks for us right there. So we're 1-0-2 in bailout bets. I guess I'll change mine to the 7 calling card. If we
I'm going with my other horse too. No doubt about it. Disco time to the hoop.
Barry, let's recap some picks. Keep in mind there's a typo here. We were where it says race 8, it means race 6. Barry, what do we have?
So race 3, we have a $30 win bet on number 3. Race 6, we have a $25 win bet on number 6. Race 10, we have a $25 win bet on number 9. And race 11, $10 daily double, the 1 with the 311 to the hoop. We're cashing at least one of those.
You know what's great?
At least one.
Since Admiral Dennis scratched, you are now double single on the hot cocks.
Oh, let's go.
A good day for the Flowcocks is a good day for the sniper. Here we go. Here are my bets for the day. Starting off, race 1, we tried to step on necks early with a $10 exacta, 1 with 2-3. Race 8, we are a $20 win on the number 9. Race 9, we're a $10 win on the number 6. Race 10, a exacta 9-10 with 7-9-10. And now race 11, I guess I'm single, 2-4-9 with 3-7 in the finale.
That's what's up.
All right. I might update on the Twitters with another pick.
Yeah, I might throw another horse in my daily double, but we'll see. I might just go with the Flowcocks for the win. But
it's a strategy that's paid off a lot at Fairgrounds.
It definitely has.
You know, was it Mayor Ray Nagin said that New Orleans is a chocolate city? I disagree, sir. It is a Flowcock city.
That's correct, because Chocolate City is Atlanta.
Yeah. And Charm City is Baltimore. We can go.
There you go. There we go. Yeah.
Little Rock doesn't have a nickname. Go figure. Go fucking figure. Barry, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back on YouTube tomorrow morning, 9 Eastern, 8 God's time. It's time for our Friday Who's Your Single show, where we each pick out the one horse that we think you can single in your horizontals running on Friday. So that's going to do it for us here at the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We will see you bright and early tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Peace.